Welcome to Chrisman Garage. We've got us here a Ranger XLT, the Danger Ranger, I call it. She needs a little pressure washing. We may do that before this video is over with, we'll see. We've got some slave cylinder clutch release bearing woes. We're going to try to work on it this morning, see what happens. All right, let me take you all around this truck real quick here. We've got a 2.3 litre. I love these little motors, and I think the reason I have such a passion for these motors is because I started racing when I was 15, and we raced this little 2.3, and I raced it for years and years and years, won championships with it, learned a lot about these engines, built a lot of them racing. We're gonna be working on a transmission. We're gonna be snatching that transmission out. These Rangers are terrible about air getting into the system in these master cylinders, the way they're designed, and maybe we'll do a video on how to bleed this thing out. You have to take the whole line, the whole assembly off to get it bled like it needs to be. But yeah, looking forward to working on this little truck. She's been setting up for a while. Might air up the tires and pressure wash her a little bit, get her looking a little bit better for my man. We might even be putting a battery in it over here, but let's get started on it. All right, up underneath this thing here, we're gonna have to take the dry shaft loose right here. This is gonna be a 12 millimeter 12 point. We're gonna snatch it out, one piece dry shaft, not bad to do. This cross member's got to come out, but that'll probably be one of the last things we do. We have to take the starter off. Here's your starter right here. These are gonna be 13 millimeters. Most of them are gonna be 13, possibly a 17. But I think most of them are going to be 13. Here's where your clutch slave cylinder is fed hydraulically. We have to take the gear stick loose. We'll probably do that from inside the truck, possibly. And we'll drop her on down. There's your speedometer cable. Yeah, it's not going to be bad at all. I'll keep you all posted. All right, here we are on the inside of the truck. I got a few issues I'm looking at here that's a little concerning to me, and we're going to try to fix on them. One of the complaints on this truck was the dry shaft was rubbing the floor pan, and somebody's got the wrong rear transmission mount in it, and it's got this thing jacked way up. See how close it is? It's almost through the floor pan here. It's almost touching. That's one issue. The other thing I want to teach y'all on is how this thing works. Most everything on your 2300s and things are 17. We should be able to loosen this up just like that. Back this on out. Nice. We'll back it on out a little bit. We're gonna get this all the way off. All right, once you get this nut off the front side, put it right here on the back side. There you go. So I pulled it through. It's got that little boss on it. You see it wedges it in there. Now this thing should slide off. Yep. Just like that. There you go. Remember how I said the dry shaft was hitting? See where the dry shaft's been scrubbing? See how close it is? Well, let's see if we can get up here at a better angle. There it is. See how close it is? This is with the rear end relaxed too. Well, no, I take that back. She's sitting on jack stands. But she's pretty close. You hit a bump, it's gonna come up and touch this. If you can notice, the transmission is way high. I think this is the wrong mount for this particular vehicle, or maybe the wrong cross member. Something has been changed on and not right here. I'm gonna try to bring it down a little bit when we go back together with it, so that my man don't have this issue anymore. Hopefully she's close everywhere we look at here, and you can see it's all up in the floor pan. So anyhow, let's get on it. All right, this is your clutch line. As you can see, this little piece of plastic right here is on here, and when it's plugged up in like this, you have to push this plastic piece in with this little tool. And normally this tool comes with any clutch slave cylinder or whatever, and if you put the tool on like this right here, what you do is this thing slides back like this, and when you put this tool on, you shove that up in, and when you shove it up in, it releases these little tines that are up in here and releases this piece and allows you to pull it out. So that's how that works. We're gonna put a new slave cylinder in this vehicle. We're gonna put a new master cylinder too. We're gonna try to reuse this line, but we'll see how all this works out. If I don't like the line, we may order a new line for it too. So, but as you can notice, I've got the cross member out, got it supported. I got the drive shaft loose, just hanging back there, and we've got the gear selector knob out, and I've got all the bolts out, including the starter. Starter's hanging right there. Got all the bolts out except for the two on the top. So I'm gonna take those two top bolts out, and then I'm gonna manhandle this thing down. All right, we snatched it out. It wasn't too bad. It was about what I expected. These little plates here, sometimes slide them on off. Get out of the way, we'll clean that up. But we got to take 13mm bolts, looks like 2, 4, 6 of them out. And we'll pop this off. We're gonna replace on all this. This don't look like it's too terrible bad. It's actually got a good pilot bearing in there. It's not just a bushing, and that's an actual needle bearing. We're gonna make sure that's good. We're gonna put some strawberry grease on that. We may replace on the rear main seal while we're in here. We're gonna look at it and take note of that also. New car scent. Nice. Here's the old tranny. She's a little greasy. Looks like she might have come out of a junkyard. I bet you that's the problem. This came out of a 96. This is a 94. I bet you that the rear mount is different on the 96 if I had to make a guess. This thing is I'm not liking this at all. See how rusty and cruddy this thing is? I don't know if y'all can see that on there. Yeah, we're gonna put a new one of these on there. I'm gonna pull the master cylinder out. Yeah, we're gonna get on it. Here we go. We got the new parts here. Got a new clutch. She's wrapped up in cellophane, looks like. And we got a new pressure plate here. We've got the yeah, that's a master cylinder. They set at a crazy angle on the firewall, like down. See the angle that thing is crazy? That's the reason they trap so much air down in this region. So I'll show you how to bleed all that. We've got the new slave cylinder here. Yeah, kind of excited about seeing all this stuff go back in. She was nasty, fellas, but I cleaned on her a little bit. She's a little cleaner than she was, but yeah, because I don't like getting my hands all greasy going back together with it. So that's what we're working with. All right, in order to get the master cylinder out, you got to take this inner fender out. We got to take all these bolts out. There's quite a few in here. When I get it down, I'll show y'all what I'm working with. Okay, we got this fender well out. It wasn't too bad. There was some Phillips head screws around the edge. Most of the rest of it was 8mm. The worst part was all these little clips were stuck down in there. Every one of these, had to get them all off. Once we got that off, it fell on down. Got out of the way. Here's the master cylinder. Right here. This goes up to the reservoir. This is it right here. And what it does is it twists and comes out. But in order to get it out, I've got to go inside and undo the clutch safety switch. I'm gonna show you how that works. All right, here we are up in here. Here's the clutch pedal. This is where the rod goes up to it. You can normally just pop this off. Yeah, just like that. That just pops off. It's got a little plastic clip. This is a little switch that I was talking about. If you can see right here, I'm gonna see if I can get this clip off. Got that out. Now, this piece, you've got to pinch these two pieces. See that? Slide that up out of the way. Get that up off. And then, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, that stupid pedal keeps flopping down in the way. This thing should just slide right off to the side. It does. It's a little clip on the back side right there. There we go. There, that's your clutch safety switch. Reservoir's got 1 8mm right here. We're gonna pop it out. All right, let's start back right here. We've got the master cylinder in a vise. Got the tail side of it up high. We've got the line way up here, and I've got it clamped to my hose here, and I've got brake fluid in it. You can see where the brake fluid's at, and it's gonna run down into the master cylinder. And the master cylinder hose runs down here, and we've got it all the way down here. So we've got this as low as it can be. But see, all these places right here are places that air gets trapped. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pump this thing with a screwdriver or a rod, not the original rod because you'll get it hung up in there. We're gonna start pumping this, and you're gonna see air bubbles come out up here. And we're gonna keep doing this until this gets so stiff that you can't move it. I'm gonna keep popping it off down here so this line's full, and we're gonna get this whole thing air free. When we get this whole thing air free, then we can assemble it, put it back on the truck, and when we plug this up, all we have to do is keep fluid in here. Don't let this ever run dry, and we can bleed the slave cylinder out at the clutch, and we'll be good to go. What you do is you keep pushing this rod in, tapping this line, pushing this rod in, making sure you got fluid up there and tapping this line, and eventually all the air will get out of it. And when it gets so tight that you can't really mash it in, that's when it's bled. All right, what we got here is the new slave cylinder. As you can see, nice, pretty new. You slide it right in, making sure that they line up with the two holes on the outside, here and here. Sits up on. Get your two bolts. Get them started. Always like to make sure they're started before we run either one of them up. Both of them are started good. I'm gonna run them up, that's it. We've got the new master cylinder here, excuse me. Master cylinder, she bolts up here and over here. And the new line coming down goes over to our transmission. All we gotta do is bolt this up, put our inner fender back in, and this thing's pre-bled, ready to go, so we should be on point. Well, there you have it, guys. We got the transmission in it. We put a battery in it too while we was here. And I fixed a bunch of little small things. We found that the cross member was bent up, is the reason the drive shaft was hitting the floorboard. A bunch of other things going on. We had some trouble with the clutch, obviously, but I think there isn't anybody that doesn't have trouble with these clutches. So with that being said, another one in the history books for the Danger Ranger. And if she's giving trouble, just remember, she's probably going to the bad.